some suburbs, then sunshine much of the time for tomorrow. A nice afternoon, high temperature near 80. Mostly cloudy and humid Thursday. There will be a couple of showers and a heavier thunderstorm around. Any downpour could cause some flooding on streets and in poor drainage areas Thursday, a high of 81. Still the potential for a shower or storm on Friday, but overall, likely a drier day with some breaks of sunshine. Still humid on Friday with a high of 82. Right now in Central Park, it's partly sunny, kind of bordering on mostly cloudy at the moment. It's 74 degrees, humidity 57%, and the wind is out of the northwest at 10. Again, we're at 74 and heading up to 78 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Today in South Carolina, Republican voters are headed to the polls. Special U.S. Senate runoff race will choose the candidate that'll replace the late Senator Lindsey Graham on the November ballot. His sister Darlene Graham was appointed to the position after he died. Now she's hoping to hold on to that role in a special primary, taking on Congressman Ralph Norman for the Republican nomination. Darlene Graham has President Trump's endorsement, and we're learning that just yesterday, on the final day of the campaign, MAGA Inc., a super PAC that supports Trump and MAGA Republicans, spent $827,000 to support Darlene Graham. After nearly a month of testimony, the jury in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial getting ready to hear from the final witnesses.
Prosecutors plan to rest their rebuttal case today after calling two final expert witnesses to cast doubt on the claim that the Massachusetts mother was in the throes of psychosis when she killed her three children. The testimony comes one day after Clancy's attorney moved for a mistrial due to testimony from a prosecution expert about Clancy's religion and how it might have influenced her decision to kill her children. The judge denied the request, but sternly instructed the jurors to ignore any testimony about Clancy's faith. The jurors could begin deliberations as early as tomorrow. Peter Haralamus, ABC News.
People in North Texas bracing for evacuations after a wildfire broke out yesterday. It quickly burned tens of thousands of acres.
Throughout the night, flames lit up the sky over Palo Pinto County, 40 miles west of Fort Worth. The Ross fire has scorched 50,000 acres and is only 5% contained, according to the Texas A&M Forest Service.
The combination of high heat, low humidity, and very dry vegetation is increasing the wildfire risk across the state.
The Forest Service's Laura Stevens, people living in the region have been told to be ready to evacuate. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Smaller wildfires are also burning in multiple surrounding counties. No word yet on any injuries or whatever, or whether any structures have been destroyed there. And we also know there are dozens of other wildfires raging out west from Texas all the way on up to Washington State, due in large part to extreme drought conditions. An album reissue is on the way. Back to Black Album from Amy Winehouse. More on that in 1010 Wins Entertainment News coming up.
Hey, New Jersey, the Mega Millions jackpot is up to $130 million. Who couldn't use a little extra money in their pockets? Get your ticket today. Anything can happen in Jersey.
At home in a new Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison during the Mercedes-Benz Welcome Home Celebration, now through August 31st. Enjoy exceptional opportunities on the GLC and GLE and the C-Class sedan. Visit Mercedes-Benz of Edison, where luxury feels like home.
Thinking about upgrading your sleep? Now is the time to shop Sleep Number. Trusted by millions for nearly 40 years, Sleep Number offers superior comfort, personalized adjustability, temperature benefits, and value that is unmatched in the industry. And right now, during the Sleep Number Labor Day sale, all mattresses are on sale. Invest in your sleep and experience firsthand Sleep Number's personalized comfort. Stop by a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com to learn more.
Today we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos? These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century. It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click. Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands. Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments. Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/radio. That's legacybox.com/radio.
Time now for 1010 Wins Entertainment News. The iconic Amy Winehouse album Back to Black getting a 20th anniversary re-release. The deluxe reissue will feature previously unheard demos, rare B-sides, photos, the full 2007 performance in Amsterdam. The rollout will also feature special vinyl options. It's hitting store shelves October 27th. Pre-orders available now. We're getting our first look at the new LG project.
I've been gone for 20 years, chilling. There was COVID, wars, and Ed Sheeran.
It's called Ali G, Who Is I, described as a feature film documentary following Sacha Baron Cohen as he unleashes Ali G on the unsuspecting public. No word yet on a release date.
Entertainment is powered by Shulman & Hill Injury Lawyers. Rear-ended on the BQE? Go to hurtny.com. Every borough, every block. We are New York. New York's auto accident attorneys.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-595-1395. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-595-1395. That's 800-595-1395. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From Rockefeller Center to Battery Park City, we are New York's all-news station.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins on 90.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 74 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds at 140. I'm Kevin Brincone. Here's what's happening. As of today, police departments in the state, will not be allowed to work with ICE as they continue to go after immigrants.
To keep crime down, we need local police focused on thwarting local crimes.
Not every agency, though, is on board, at least not yet. Overnight, there was an armed robbery at a deli in the Bronx. Cops say the suspect shot a customer, and it turns out that same suspect is wanted for a deadly shooting at a Brooklyn bodega on Sunday. In the city, the mayor says the most egregious, most complex cases brought up in housing court, they'll now be fast-tracked in an effort to help tenants dealing with serious issues. The LIRR wants to make it easier for New Yorkers to get out to Montauk. They're announcing upgrades that'll take years to finish. And tonight, Kids Night on Broadway, meaning they'll be able to catch certain shows for free as long as they're with an adult. Right now, we're seeing a mix of sun and clouds. It's going to stay that way throughout the afternoon, a high of 78. 141, let's get you to where you need to go with Craig Rice.
We're still closed in the Bronx. Bruckner shut down westbound near 149th Street. Dump truck went up in flames, and that's enough to shut everything down and cause a standstill from Rosedale Avenue on the westbound Bruckner. Eastbound, you got one single file lane of traffic in the right lane, and that's why the eastbound Bruckner is banned from the Deegan and the RFK Bridge. Now, the Cross Bronx is open, so it's better, but that doesn't make it good westbound, where you're loaded up from White Plains Road out to the George. Here's what you need to know about bridges and tunnels. Citybound George, 45 on the upper, 30 on the lower, the west side, the easiest way to skip town. Lincoln, no more than a few either way. The outbound Holland behaves. The outbound Skyway is a mess getting out of Jersey City. Newark Bay, better either way. 17 in New Jersey, stands still either way to West Central Avenue with a southbound crash. You want the Parkway instead. 78 eastbound. Looks like everything is finally being reopened in Newark in the local and express lanes. And in Brooklyn, they've got a collision on the eastbound belt at Plum Beach. That's making a mess all the way back to Shell Road. Greg Rice, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
As of today, local police departments in New York are now banned from working with ICE when it comes to immigration efforts.
The New York state law Governor Hochul signed back in May kicks into effect. It bans local police agencies from cooperating with ICE.
We will not allow local cops to be diverted as ICE agents to conduct civil immigration enforcement. We need local police focused on thwarting local crimes.
Governor Hochul says she's hoping this law will help protect immigrants.
ICE can no longer use locally funded police to carry out the Trump administration's aggressive immigration agenda.
According to state officials, 11 counties said they would end arrangements they had in place working with ICE by the deadline, but some counties, including Nassau County, are still weighing out their options. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The New York Attorney General's office issued subpoenas to both Nassau County Police Department and the Nassau County Sheriff's Department for their failure to comply with the law. We reached out to Nassau County officials and got a no comment response. This morning, a guy robbed a deli in the Bronx. Cops say he shot a customer in the arm. A bullet went through his chest. He was rushed to the hospital, expected to survive. Now, the suspect, we're learning, is the same guy that was wanted for a fatal shooting on Sunday at a Brooklyn bodega. The suspect, police say, is 31-year-old Jesus Acosta. Fernando Mateo with the United Bodegas of America calling on city officials to do more about violence at stores and bodegas.
Why is it that the legislators don't see what we see? Is it because these crimes are taking place in Black and Hispanic communities? What is wrong with you legislators, man?
They're offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Today's shooting happened at the 149 Grill and Deli in Melrose. The Sunday shooting was at American Best Wings and Pizza in Brownsville. We have a photo of the suspect on our website, 1010wins.com, and on our social feeds at 1010wins. Anyone with information has to contact Crime Stoppers. In his latest move to support tenants dealing with serious housing issues, Mayor Mamdani announced today a new way to put those people living in the worst conditions on a fast track in housing court.
It could be a game changer for people dealing with some of the worst living conditions in the city and normally would have to wait a long time for anything to be done about it. Landlords will now have to be in court within 5 days of complaints being filed. Mayor Mamdani says the new housing court process will apply to cases like these,
where at least 1/3 of units in a building are subject to an open vacate order, where families have been forced from their homes. Cases where at least 1/3 of the units have an open and immediately hazardous violation for essential services.
And if elevators are out to part of a building.
This is the kind of change tenants have long called for, and the kind of change that tenants deserve.
Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Not happy with his announcement, the New York Apartment Association, representing landlords at rent-stabilized units, arguing the move unfairly punishes landlords when the real problem, they say, is a lack of money to make repairs. During the hot summer months, people love going out to the Hamptons and Montauk. Now, to accommodate all those travelers, Governor Hochul says the LIRR will make a series of upgrades to the Amagansett and Hampton Bay stations. It's a multi-phase, multi-year plan that starts in early 2028. Here's LIRR President Rob Free.
As part of Phase 1 of our South Shore improvements, we will be extending a siding track at Amagansett and interlocking it. Now that means switches will be controlled from our operations center as opposed to having to throw switches by hand in the field.
The second phase would include lengthening the Hampton Bays train platform to accommodate longer trains. Another person has died at Rikers. It's the 7th death in custody this year. The Department of Corrections this morning says 41-year-old Clarence Woodward suffered a medical emergency. That was around 5 in the morning. He was pronounced dead less than an hour later. Mayor Mamdani in a statement writing, "We don't yet know the cause of death, but we do know that too many New Yorkers have died on Rikers," adding the circumstances surrounding this death under investigation. Another man died less than a week ago at Rikers as well. After lots of speculation and backlash, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries addressing his meeting with President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. In a video posted to social media, Jeffries pushed back on criticism, saying the meeting was criticism that the meeting was a bad look. Says that's not the case. He emphasized instead that he will continue pushing the Trump administration.
We're going to hold every single member of the Trump cartel accountable, beginning on day one. you're stealing from the American people, shortchanging the American people, or screwing over the American people, you're going to be held accountable.
He says Kushner reached out to him first and that the two discussed affordability. A federal judge delivering a legal blow to Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, trying to overturn her conviction and her 20-year prison sentence, arguing there is new evidence that her sex trafficking conviction was a complete miscarriage of justice. In a written ruling this morning, the judge on the case said Maxwell's petition had no merit, that her assertions were based on speculation, distortions, and or just outright falsehoods. The family of Alex Preddy, the ICU nurse who was killed by ICE agents in Minneapolis, sat down for their first TV interview since the fatal shooting 7 months ago. Speaking with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos, Alex's father, Michael Preddy, said they haven't heard from top Trump administration officials yet, nor have they gotten any real updates on the case. Michael Preddy says they want accountability after the Trump administration spread lies about what his son was doing that day.
He wasn't really protesting. I mean, and that's one thing we want to be clear. The day he was murdered, he was not at a protest. He was an observer. Yeah. And that's why he had his phone.
Video footage shows Alex Preddy getting shot 10 times in the back during an encounter with ICE agents. One agent appears to shove a woman into Preddy, who appears to be trying to help her. Instead, he was wrestled to the ground. He had a legal firearm on him, but video footage shows an officer taking it away before Preddy was shot repeatedly. His family says they found out about his death watching coverage on the news. Uber is launching new features for parents who worry about their teenagers when they're taking a ride alone. Starting today, Uber rolling out live video streaming for Uber teen accounts, allowing a linked parent or guardian to see a teenager's ride in real time through the front-facing camera on the driver's phone. Both the teenager and the driver, they'll get notified if a parent begins watching the live stream. Uber says this feature builds on its existing safety tools, including live trip tracking, PIN verification, and audio recording. As part of President Trump's immigration crackdown, they have rolled back protections for military families. And yesterday, the wife of an active duty Army sergeant was deported.
Sergeant Hader Juarez says ICE officers detained his wife Christy outside a Walmart as their daughter watched from her car seat.
They claim they're going for like the worst of the worst criminals in this country. My wife doesn't have a criminal record. She has never had any kind of problems with the law, not even a traffic ticket.
The Homeland Security Department says his wife illegally entered the United States in 2016 from Honduras and was removed from the United States in accordance with our laws.
Correspondent Karen Watt.
Now, a commercial message. Larry Mullins here. After an accident, you need a trusted law firm with an army of efficient staff members. That's Spector and Associates, your serious injury attorneys. Spector and Associates understands how devastating an accident can be and will fight relentlessly. Spector and Associates serious injury attorneys are based in New York. Construction accident, car accident, slip, trip, and fall. Call them now. 800-318-8888. Spector and Associates has recovered hundreds of millions for the injured. Been in an accident? Visit crashinjury.com or call 800-318-8888. The lawyers at Spector and Associates Serious Injury Attorneys fight hard, win big to get you what you deserve. Call them now. 800-318-8888. That's 800-318-8888. Or visit crashinjury.com.
Spector and Associates, your serious injury lawyers. 800-318-8888.
Licensed in the Tri-State, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania.
Wins News Time 151. Let's get you to where you need to go with Greg Rice.
Still shut down in the Bronx. Bruckner closed westbound at 149th Street. Earlier, dump truck fire, and now they're just investigating or cleaning up, whatever it is. That's why the westbound Bruckner is still closed near 149th Street at an absolute standstill all the way back to Rosedale Avenue. Eastbound Bruckner, single file in the right lane, and you're jammed from the RFK and the Deegan. Citybound George, 40 to 60 on the upper, 30 to 40 on the lower. The west side, the best of it out of town. Cross Bronx, that's loaded up from White Plains Road. But again, the Bruckner is not a westbound option. You can just get to the northbound Deegan. That's in pretty decent shape, though. Lincoln, no more than a few minutes in. Outbound Lincoln, an extra 10 or so from 11th, better from 9th. Outbound Holland's all right, but the outbound Skyway is slammed. Inbound Skyway starting to slow. The Newark Bay, it's going to be the much better play in either direction. Northbound Whitestone Expressway after Northern Boulevard crash blocks one of the middle lanes. And by bunches you up from Northern Boulevard, Clearview to the Throgs Neck, Bronx-bound, better out of Queens. Traffic is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. Greg Rice, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
A check of the AccuWeather forecast, meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, Kevin, it is going to remain, for the most part, pretty nice through the rest of this afternoon, where we'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine. High temperature around 78. There may be a stray shower in a few spots, mainly north of the city. Nothing around at the moment, but there are some showers farther north across the Hudson Valley as you get north of Interstate 84. So again, we'll keep an eye on the radar this afternoon. Then it will clear out tonight. Low 65 in the city. It'll drop into the 50s in some suburbs. Sunshine much of the time tomorrow. A nice afternoon. High near 80. And for the day on Thursday, mostly cloudy and humid. That's our next to best chance for some rain, as we will have a few showers, even a heavier thunderstorm around. Any downpour could cause some flooding on streets and in poor drainage areas. High Thursday, 81. Still humid on Friday with clouds and some sun. There still could be a shower or thunderstorm around, especially during the afternoon. Friday's high about 82. Right now we're at 74 degrees. It is partly sunny in Midtown. We're going up to 78. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, today is a day for the theater kids.
That'll Broadway bringing back Kids Night. The promo allowing any kid to attend a participating Broadway musical or play for free, as long as they're with a paying adult. To take part in the deal, there's a code. It's
KBWay26S. I'm sure you can find it online when you check out your tickets. That's the code you have to insert. Participating shows include Maybe Happy Ending, Harry Potter, The Cursed Child, Hadestown, and nearly 24 other performances on Broadway. This week, the return of college football, and we're learning at least 2 NFL players are ditching the pros and opting to go back to school.
Rookie tight end Daquan Wright was recently waived by the Cleveland Browns. Now, his agents say he has a deal to play for LSU this season. Former New Orleans Saints defensive lineman Xavier Harris is also headed back to college, also to LSU. It comes after the NCAA recently changed its rules to allow athletes 5 years to play. The rule change wasn't supposed to take effect until next season, but that sparked a legal battle. Wright and Harris were among those who sued to become eligible under the rule change.
Hannah Patel reporting.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is the prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease. Control is everything to me. Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Time now for Bloomberg Money Watch.
In the housing market, price cuts and heavy promotions are not going to get done right now. Today, the Commerce Department says U.S. new home sales fell a more than forecast 10.5% in July to the lowest level in half a year. It happened even as the average price of a new home slid nearly 1% from a year earlier last month. Not sliding were mortgage rates, which have been on a steady march higher through the spring and summer. I'm Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Lance Jameson is one of thousands of patients who have benefited from the affiliation between ENT and Allergy Associates and the Mount Sinai Hospital.
Lance was suffering from a sinus infection that led him to Dr. Andrew Azer from ENT and Allergy Associates.
Dr. Azer detected that Lance had something more serious going on. Because of ENT and Allergy's unique clinical affiliation with Mount Sinai, Dr. Azer got Lance and his medical records to Mount Sinai within 48 hours.
Dr. Satish Govindaraj of Mount Sinai Hospital performed a biopsy, which confirmed a benign tumor.
Surgery was scheduled that day.